it feels so cold inside my heart tonight. Be my man is what she said. It's not just the wind that's moving around tonight, but quick and clean don't make it right.
Ant and I are here by the side of the creek, and the creek was an integral part of the rush, and right along the edges of the creek there's all sinkings. And when I've come along here before and I've seen the track dozed, there's always been a lot of broken glass on it, so I know there was a lot of activity in here during gold rush times. So Doug, our first signal for the, or our first keeper for the day, yeah, Ant and I both dug nice little button, little flat button out of this black ground. As I was walking along this part of the track, bits of black glass were everywhere on the track. So I knew that from the double decoil. I was hoping for a coin, but yeah, it's a start. It'll match up nicely at the end of the day in our. So that's our first relic. Nice. It's a little bit better quality too, isn't it? Like it's a little bit heavier button, a little bit more solid. Ant, you want to take it? Yeah. Sound like a coin all the way down, and when it was deep, I've already dug silver paper and a ring pull, so it's not all old stuff here. But when that one got deep, I thought it was a coin all the way down.
Oh well, still a nice find.
A nice find, puts me in the early lead, goes over the top of your bullet.
Certainly does. I've got 3 bullets so far, that's all I got.
And that's the story of it.
That's it.
But we're enjoying ourselves.
Sure are. Thumbs up, mate.
No worries.
Good job.
Good work, thanks, Ant. Early in the day, Ant and I are poking around these collars on the shafts to the side of the creek, or more potholes than shafts. Now here, all this dirt here, you can't tell, but it came from a hole behind that gorge. So I was detecting the collar. Got that signal which is starting to break up. I called Ant across to film me, and then I took a bit more off, and now that doesn't sound as good, but doesn't sound anywhere near as good, but we'll dig him on film just to show that every time you see us dig one doesn't necessarily mean you're going to see us dig something of value. I've been real careful with him up until now, but I'm a little bit more flamboyant because one, the signal's got bigger.
It's starting to break up a little bit.
And the other thing is it's making a more coarse sound. I also lost interest in him. I was digging him in this yellow clay, and all that sounds all right. But now, even though I'm deeper in the hole, it's going more into a silty sort of ground, which making me less enthusiastic. But there's always a chance that he might turn out into something made of ferrous metal, but interesting as well.
That's right.
They're not all, you know, might be.
Think it's in the wall?
Yeah, it's a shit of a spot to dig.
Yeah.
Now, when you might probably picked up from the filming, Ant's got his t-shirt on, and I haven't got mine on. And I should have it on because one of our buddies, Graham Fuller, he was out with one of our internet buddies, Tom Shaw, and they were detecting. Anyhow, Graham had Tom covered. He reckoned he.
There we are, she's out.
Graham had got 3 little fellas.
Thought he had Tom covered.
Tom had got none for the afternoon. Reckon he had him covered. Then Tom pulled his jumper off getting warm. Had the brand new Gold Hunters, Victorian Gold Hunters white t-shirt on.
Saw that.
Felt the vibe, got a superpower. Got one 11.1 grams.
Jesus, what a ripper.
So Graham went from, hey, have a look at these 3 I've got too. So call it luck, call it coincidence, or call it a vibe from the earth. Buy one of the t-shirts, be a superhero. Pull your jumper off, get a gold nugget.
I did see that picture of Tom's on Instagram. What a ripper. What an absolute ripper.
Yeah, so good on you, Tom.
You've got your t-shirt underneath that t-shirt, right, Glenn?
I've got the whole thing tattooed on onto my body. Yeah.
Well, we should get an answer then.
Yeah, well,
tattooed. Jesus.
yeah.
That's dedication.
My dad had a little blue dot there, and he showed me one time, and just dropped down with there, whatever it was. I said, what's that blue dot? And he said, when I was about 20, I went in to get a tattoo, and that's as far as I got.
Chickened out? Yeah, they just
oh,
started.
no!
That's funny.
So,
The signal's not breaking
Yeah.
up though, is it?
there it is.
Got him? What is it?
I
Piece
don't
of
know what it
metal.
is. I mean, it's non-ferrous, which
Yeah,
is
definitely not brass. Bit of brass.
which
or
is something. It's a bit of brass pipe or something like that. Not as bad as I thought he was, and not as good as I'd hoped he'd be.
Yeah.
So another little relic, for want of a better word. Yeah. Yeah, so my dad, his tattoo consists of a couple of, a blue dot there. But not me, I've got the full logo on the chest. Fortunately, it looks as though it's through a mohair carpet, though, unfortunately. Right,
Represent.
thumb sideways,
Thumb
then.
sideways. Next one.
Next one, yeah.
Well, I just had a signal here, just as Glenn was saying, we're detecting the collars and the side of this area here. And I'll just give you a listen. Wait for it to, there we go.
Yeah, and I could hear him and chasing it, and I kept waiting for the signal to come back, because it was only about 20 metres away, and early in the day I was feeling good in the legs. So Ant's got this.
Got this.
We don't know what it is or was.
I thought it was a bullet, you know, because it was actually in a piece of, it was in this, it was like on the side and kind of covered, and I thought, oh yeah, bloody bullet. But then the more I look at it, I thought, oh, if I can, oh, it is coming out. I thought it could be an old little thimble.
So
It's very small. It would be a very, it's probably the smallest size thimble I've ever seen.
So petite lady or someone
Definitely.
with hands like Ant.
This wouldn't even fit on my fingers. But yeah, I reckon it's a thimble, mate. What do you reckon?
Well, give it a bit of a spit on the side, mate, and give it a see if there's any detail on the side. You know, like that. You know how it has that sort of coarse.
Actually, I don't know. I'm not convinced it is.
So there's a few relics around, and that's why we're in here. For we wanted a bit of fun before we start on. Oh, we hope to find a bit of gold as well. But we knew from the amount of glass that was on the track, and the fact that they've used the gauze groomer to uncover the heaps.
No, nothing, no symbols or anything, but
So
that's what it looks like.
there it is. Show us in the centre of
Inside it's actually got, I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I'm doing a bang up job on the bloody.
Good man. Don't go too close, it gets blurry.
There it is.
So that's the inside of it.
So that's our mystery object for the moment,
Mystery object.
and it's a bloody ripper. So there's things to be found,
Yep.
and it excites us because men are in the creek, in the rush, on the sides of the creek, digging these holes and taking the wash back to the creek. Living here, obviously, dropping things.
Yep.
3 signals away from a gold sovereign. Thumbs up, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
Now, as I said earlier, the reason we're here is the creek is just there. And when the rush started in the creek, naturally they moved close to the water, but they started to dig the plateaus and the valleys that were run alongside the creeks so they could take their wash to the creek. So if you have a look here, that's what was the level of the ground, and you can see it here, and then the pothole in there. But all this broad area we're in, they've taken the ground out. I was coming over a slope there and digging, I was actually looking at a piece of glass, and I found something. And I'm going to show Ant. This was just sitting up in the air, Ant. I wanted you to have your detector on. I was going to let you detect it first. But I found that.
What in blue and blazes is that?
I reckon I know what it is. I reckon it's half a fossilised pine cone.
Kidding.
No, I reckon that's where it's been cleaved down the centre. That's where it's a pine cone or some piece of fruit or something off a tree, and it's turned to a fossil. See how?
Yeah, it does look like a fossil.
It's definitely a fossil, I reckon. Definitely a fossil. I reckon this sediment has replaced whatever was originally there, and as they do with a fossil, made a perfect copy. So that ant.
Yeah, that's pretty
So
cool.
if you know anything about fossils, which I don't, I have been called fossil a couple of times, which I'm not thrilled by. But if you know anything about fossils, tell us what that looks like. Tell us what you think that may be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
And
pretty
then when
cool.
it's sitting in Ant's cupboard, he'll say, yeah, that's from the such and such period.
That's it. That's millions and millions of years old.
Yeah. So we're looking for old stuff.
Yeah. That's
Eyeballed
cool.
that up there. They've obviously dug it up from the bottom and thrown it in a stone heap.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
It is.
It's
yeah.
strange.
Not what I was expecting you to pull out.
That's why I wanted to do the reveal on camera, but I'm going 2 thumbs up on that. Ant.
Yeah, very cool. Nice one.
So if you know anything about fossils, don't want the nickname fossil for myself, found that.
Nice.
Righto, Ant, keep at it.
I eyeballed this one.
Oh, and so that shows you that shows you the history of the area, and I got a little one too.
So they were drinking around here.
Yeah, they were living and drinking here.
Yep, you got that as well.
As is always the case, Ant's is bigger than mine. I got that little one, but that's the time period. But obviously not that. If you're a fossil collector,
fossils,
you know about fossils.
Millions of years old.
But this is Goldfields era stuff. So
Cool.
Ant's looking for a drink. We're only going to give it another 20 here.
Warming up.
Make your way back to the car and try and squeeze something out. But I'm pretty pleased with that
Yeah, that's really cool.
fossil that I'm calling it.
Yeah, nice
Righto.
job. All right.
Thumbs up,
Onwards
Ant.
and upwards. Cheers, mate. Well, time for a drink. Bit of a relax, bit of a chat. We're gonna move spots soon. With not that there's anything wrong with this spot. There's lots and lots of signals. This is Glenn's pile here. Pull tab, quite a few bullets.
I nearly knocked the pull tab out of there because it brings my stuff down.
3 buttons.
3 buttons.
This one unfortunately broke.
Yeah, this one who made a mistake of picking it up and lost focus. That one in the middle is quite a solid one.
Oh.
That one, the worst looking one I clipped with the pick getting it out.
And these are my finds.
Yeah, and all Ant's bullets. There's no shortage of
Bullets,
22
shotgun
bullets.
shells, yeah.
If we were in other places, there was a couple of times I would have called Ant over to say, I think this might be a little bit of gold. Now, Ant's mystery object has actually got a bit of thread inside it on there. So obviously, unless you threaded it onto your little finger, it's not a thimble.
No.
But it's still got a fair bit of age to it. It's not something modern. So what it threads onto, who knows? Maybe it threads onto, you know, when the bloke said about the palm saver on the muzzle loading guns, you know, probably something as good as that. So flip it on side and so I can show the inside. So that has got a thread in it. That's about how big it is, factor in Ant's bloody petite little dwarf hands. And so it's nowhere near as big as it looks.
No.
Right, but
We do have
this,
fossil.
which we believe it's a fossil. You can see sort of detail on it. It's not, well, it has occurred naturally, but it's not something that is just a stone. It's something. So if you're an amateur fossil collector, know something about it, can look it up on the internet, all power to you.
All right, let us know.
But that's leading. So I'm holding
Definitely
in first
leading.
and second place, Ant.
Second, oh yeah, you got the
Yeah,
buttons.
yeah.
I'll give you
Oh,
that
well,
first and second.
mystery object may jump over my button. I'll give you a second and I'll take third. Right, mate.
All right,
You
let's
spot.
go.
We're back in where we were last week. We left where we were on the Relics. Last week Ant and I were in here and we've got 2 little bits of gold each and a couple of good little relics. The buggy, the thing off the side of the buggy. and
Whip holder.
Yeah, the buggy whip holder and a Chinese coin on the surface and various things. So down there where the chimneys were, we didn't give it a realistic go. I got distracted and walked away and then looked at the manna gum tree.
Yeah.
So we're
And
right
really,
on.
we should have bloody bought the Equinox.
Yeah, and you've got to carry the bloody thing.
Yeah, that's right.
So where we are now, there's a water race, a big solid water race, and you can see it's been dug out and it's followed the curve of the bank because it's going over there. But someone's been in here at the time, seen the water race, had it going around the top of their claim, and they've decided they'd build this dam. They've built a big or a sizable dam here. They've dug it, and you know, you say, oh, that's only a little dam. It's only a little dam if you're digging it with an excavator or a bobcat. It's a big dam when you're digging it with a pick and shovel.
Yeah.
And this is where they brought the water in. They've run the water out of the race, filled their dam, and held the dam, and then they've sluiced that gully below us, which is what we've got, one of the things areas we've got our eye on. If it was worth building a dam to sluice it out, maybe he's missed a little bit down there on the bedrock. And two reasons he's got the dam. One, so he's got a force of water running down the gully, and the other is the water races run continuously, so they've left the stream, they come all the way around, the water runs continuously because he's got to feed all the claims. He can't stop it here and the water race runs 15 miles and then wait till the next morning for the water to come all the way through. So they run continuously, which meant that at night time when we weren't working, water was cheap. The bloke that had the water race, he was content to sell you water cheaply. This bloke's built a dam, he's bought his water at night, ran the water down in there, sluiced out this gully below us and left two little bits of gold down there in the bedrock, one for Ant and one for I. So we're going after him.
Let's go get him.
That's where we are, Ant.
Cheers, mate.
We're in the gully that we got a little bit off the edge of last week. Got a signal right here. Doesn't sound too bad if I hold off it. If I get too close to it,
Could be the booster though.
yeah,
You know?
it's breaking up.
Yeah, a little
But
bit, but not massively.
it's the first one that we've filmed
Filmed here.
since we've got here, so
Yep. See
it
what...
won't take much getting out one way or the other. The detectors last week were steady as a rock, and this week there's a thunderstorm coming,
Yeah.
so the forecast says, and the detectors are chattering. You know,
Electrical interference.
yeah, you're getting a signal and then you're stepping back and it's disappearing.
Yep.
So, but this one obviously is locked in now. But I've had a few where I thought, oh, there's a little signal, and mucked around with it, and then it's disappeared, and it hasn't been. It's just been. Doesn't sound real bad.
Yeah. It's not cutting out now, is it?
No. So see how we go.
In the hand.
I always laugh to myself when I'm holding it, because
You know I'm trying to see it first.
Anne's eyesight's a mile better than mine, obviously, and that
Not
pass,
that.
I reckon.
Yep, I
Yeah.
reckon. Damn.
Oh well, there it is. Not gold. Well, thumb's clearly down, eh?
Yep. Yeah, well. Next one.
Next one. I just wanted to show you this piece of ground, so if you're coming here and you're sinking a shaft when these blokes were in here, you'd know what you were facing. So you sank through the top 4 or 5 inches of silt, then into the subsoil, and then you come down to this white pipe clay, and you think, oh, I'm on the bottom. Because quite often pipe clay is the bottom in itself, but that's a false bottom. Then you get down to the sandstone, you think I'm really on the bottom now. So that's also a false bottom, and we know this by the ground they've exposed in the gully below us. You've got to go through the silt, go through the subsoil, go through the pipe clay, go to the sandstone, keep going down about 16 foot, go straight down, and then there's a hard type of stone, and that's what the gold was resting on. So all of this is a red herring. So if you came in here and you were looking for the gold in the pipe clay, which indeed often that gold pipe clay is really good trap for gold,
Gets stuck in there, doesn't it?
but that I
It's
reckon
not
is
the
barren.
bottom
Sandstone's clearly barren. They've gone through the sandstone, they've kept going, and we know from looking at the bottom of the gully what actually was the bottom. So if you're going out tomorrow sinking shafts, just be aware that it's not always the same as it looks when you're in the hole.
Yeah, true that.
You're bloody hard workers.
Yeah. Harder than you and I. I'm ready
Yeah.
for another coffee break.
and I were having a discussion up there before. The bloke where I showed you the dam, he dug another dam below that, so he had 2 catchment dams to sluice out the gully. And then I said to Ant, if you came in here back in the day, and I said the gold's in that gully, but you've got to do these 2 dams by pick and shovel before you can get any gold. and I've been inclined to think we'd be better to get a job as showgirls or something like that. Gee, it must have been hard work.
Yeah, bloody hell.
Righto, Ant. I'm heading down this gully.
Alright, I'm going to go up.
Good going, mate.
Let's do it. Righto, well, we're at the... I've been digging at the same hut site where I was last time. Just a bit further down was where I found that buckle. And it's just out of that hole there that I've just filled in. I got this, my first relic. Not too sure what it is. Any ideas, Glenn?
I'll get them in hands. No, unless it's off some sort of buggy or something like that, like to hold the trace, screws into the shaft like that, and then the trace comes around on it. Trace is a strap that goes around the horse's chest and back to the cart. So whether it's to hold the trace to pull the cart, but I don't know, Ant.
Yeah, okay.
But certainly,
and then
clearly leading a relic challenge now.
Yeah. And then out of this hole, I just finished digging this. This thing popped up.
Well, that's mega interesting. What's that?
That's what I'm hoping you're going to be able to tell me, Glenn. I haven't cleaned it up much at all because I didn't want to break it. But yeah, that came out of that hole.
Been a little padlock. Is it a little padlock?
I'm not sure.
I'll pass it back to you. If you're wondering why Ant looks as though he's 7'6", because I'm sitting on a log filming him, because we've walked in here and then we parted company and got back. Ant's knocked up this is where he was digging last week, and we were keen to get back in here and have a go on the relics. We walked away from the spots where the relics were, and also this is where we got our little bits of gold last week. The trouble with Ant cleaning this up, he wants to clean it up, but he also doesn't want to damage it.
Exactly.
While he's cleaning it up.
I might just try clean it up a bit better at home. I don't want to ruin it. I want to find out figure it out what it is though.
Yeah, well, whenever you watch people like archaeologists and that, they don't pick a stick up off the ground and start whacking into it. They get the dirt off it. So this is a Greek urn. Oh, this is 2 Greek urns. You know? So how much does a Greek urn? Ant? 1,500 drachma a year, do they?
Probably.
Right, Ant.
But yeah.
Good work.
Mystery object.
Yeah, and plenty of relics, like back to back.
Yep.
Thumbs up. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Good work, mate.
Cheers.
Right, I remember when we were talking about the wall of the gully and I was showing you the silt and the subsoil and then the pipe clay and then the sandstone and talked about the stone at the bottom. This is the actual bottom. That heavier coarse stone, that's the, or sort of thin grain stone really. That's the bottom.
Yep.
So it's come along here, got that signal, which is obviously rubbish. But I was working along the bottom, what I believe is the bottom. Got one. When I went to get Ant, I turned my detector off. It sounded better than that before, but got one there. And there's a drain running down here that they've used to wash, when they washed the bottom, to wash into the sluice drain. So this one sounded, before I went away, it sounded real good. It was spot on, so we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
Ant just dug, been up and filmed Ant has dug 2 really nice relics. And there's a lot of stuff here. It's a great place to be. You know, gold and relics.
Yep. Lots of signals.
The only disappointing thing about it is you have to walk in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bugger, isn't it? Well, we're out.
I was just watching the internet this morning, as you do when you should be working, and there's a thing called bull poker, and when you're at a rodeo, you sit out on chairs and they let a bull out into the ring, and it's the last bloke to leave the table wins the prize. You know, they have the money sitting on the table, whatever it happens to be.
Jesus.
But this is in America.
Of course.
You have to sign a waiver that say you will not sue even if you're killed.
Jesus.
If I was doing any job where I had to sign a waiver that I wouldn't sue even if I was killed,
Yeah.
or doing it for fun. Hey! Keep your eyes on the game, man.
Oh, Glenn! Look at that.
There he is.
You are talking me away. I'm listening to you, trying to film you, and pop that one out.
There he is.
Jesus.
And this stone, that's the bottom. That's what I was talking about before. And that's how I knew when we're on the side of the gully, even though you could see down the side the levels of ground, that's what they were looking for.
Wow.
And that's what they were looking
It's a
for.
very nice little bit there, Glenn.
Got a bit of character to him,
It
hasn't he?
sure does, yeah. What's your guesstimate there on the weight? What do you reckon?
I'll say 0.4.
0.4.
Too high, you reckon?
I wouldn't have thought high enough, but
Oh.
I mean, it is pretty flat, but
I got badly burnt last time. Remember, I had that thin flat bit, and you said 0.6, I said 0.5, and
it ended up being
Yeah.
0.4, wasn't it? No, but I reckon that's half a gram at least. Yeah. I'm going to call it 0.5.
so I just noticed, and seeing we work in close proximity all the time, not disturbed by the amount of grey hair that's coming through your beard.
Nah, nah. I'm getting wiser, Glenn. Getting
right.
wiser.
You've got Camilla locked down, so
That's it.
just
Wedding's over.
just let yourself go, mate. Yeah.
I could have had a shave, but
Camilla's mother, Aunt's mother-in-law, is coming out from Poland to stay with them for a month, is it?
for a month. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
So so she's going to come up and meet Glenn.
Yep.
Yeah, so
She
Glenn
can't
will
wait.
have to be on his best behaviour. Ant doesn't want to be calling me Dad for the rest of his life.
How's your Polish going?
Apart from Jebedali, it's not good. But I assume she speaks English at least as well as you, does she?
Well, a little bit.
What was her name? What was her first name?
Aldona.
Thumbs up, Aldona.
That's
Looking forward
it.
to meeting you,
See you
mate.
soon, Aldonka.
Aldonka.
Do widzenia.
Righto. Bit of gold.
Well done, mate. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up, Ant.
Good
Good
job.
work. Ant settled in for a rest, and I said, I'll just film this little bit, mate, before you sit down. So we're going to have a 5-minute spell. It's 2:30. We've came further down the slope, and we're down to where they were
Quite
working.
a track we've done.
Down, we've came down the track, yeah. So where they've put, we followed the track down, where they've put the potholes and worked on the side of the gully, we're just following our feet and trying to find a spot to detect. Plenty of opportunity, but this caught my eye here, just as we sat down. See this ground here, all that is wash stone. See that? So someone has been here, and all that is the gravel that's come out of the bottom of the various holes, various sinkings, and been washed. So when we've had our lunch, so when you are working around the bush, see this ground is pretty, the surface is pretty plain. As soon as you see stones laying around, get interested, follow the stones, look at all that. You know, who's to say that there's not a little bit.
So this is where I'll be detecting after us.
Yeah. so anywhere there, and then in the potholes and in the gully itself, but there's a lot of potholes here.
There are, aren't there?
Not a lot of people have been in here. Ant's got a pocket full of relics.
Yeah.
I've got one little bit of gold, a fossil. Anything else of interest I've managed to get? Thirsty, hungry.
Very thirsty. Dying for a drink.
Ant's like a car I used to have. It ran well, but you had to keep watering it all the time. Well, Ant's like that.
Yeah, that's
right,
right.
mate, have a spell and then we'll
All
get
right,
into it.
let's do it.
I dug a signal here and it was just a little bit of rubbish. But what interests me about this heap is, see all this wash stone that's sitting up, like there's a substantial amount of wash stone, and it's been washed too. It's got no clay or dirt or anything on it. It's all been washed, so all that stone has probably come out of this shaft and that shaft, various shafts. And you don't think so much now about the rock box, but he must have had his box here because all this gravel's been washed and sitting up here. There's no running water, there's no water race, there's no little dam. So he's carted a tub of water here, his rocker box here. He's been sinking all these little sinkings. He's been coming back to here and washing it. So the signal I got out of there wasn't what I hoped it would be. I picked that bit of black glass I was going around in my hand. That's a bit of case gin, you know, the big thin bottles that come down like that. They're called case gin because of the shape of them. They used to sit in the case. So one would have a sort of almost pyramid shaped bottom. He would go in there. The next one would sit across him. So they're all sitting in the case and they were gin, so they're called case gins. So that when they were transporting them, as it turned out, sometimes when they're transporting them even across the sea to the thirsty miners in Australia, they were in a case sitting so they wouldn't rock around. Anyhow, we've got a signal here. Our knife came down to the bottom of the diggings, and it's sort of the diggings that there's a famous Goldfield artist called S.T. Gill. It's the sort of thing scene that he would paint. All these holes, various miners with their heads sticking out, creek below us. Yeah. The amazing thing about where Ant and I are at the moment is we've dug almost, well, I haven't dug. Have you dug any bullets since we've been down here, Ant?
No.
We haven't dug any shells, so for some reason or other, it's escaped the area of the hunters. It shuts down. I don't think it's gold, but it shuts down, but it keeps flicking back on a bit quicker than it would if it was a bit of iron. So the fact that it's in so deep. A cautionary tale. I did dig a bit of flat zinc, Z-I-N-C, yes, zinc. That. I did dig that just next door, which
Sounds weird.
which isn't much different from this signal here. The only thing that
Breaking out a bit now.
yeah, it is breaking out. I'm not dismissing it.
What are you? Clipped the coin.
I don't know whether I clipped it or clipped that stone and flicked him out.
But it's definitely a coin.
It's definitely silver coin too.
Silver.
So
Yep.
English shilling. I'll have to get my old mate to try and find a date on it when we get back to the car, but it's in pretty good
Yeah, I reckon we'll get a day out of it.
pretty good nick.
Yeah.
I'm not sure in weight, so you hold it, mate, but pretty sure it says 1 shilling on it.
Yeah, I reckon. Yep, 1 shilling, and that says 1836, I believe.
1836.
I believe, yeah.
That's all right. So what are we?
Yep, no, 100%, 1836.
Bloody nudging up to 200-year-old.
Right there, 1836.
That's a
Yeah,
good get, mate.
very nice.
Yeah. Onto the cabinet.
Vicky on the back. Cheers, buddy, well done.
Well done, Ant. Jeez,
Glad you
I
dug
reckon
it.
it'll clean up all right.
Yeah. Thumbs up. Gold, silver,
Yeah.
relics.
There
Another
he is.
full day of everything.
Right,
Well
mate.
done.
Good work.
Good work, buddy.
Thanks, Ant. Right now, I'm out in the bush with some sort of Polynesian maid. What's that?
Mate, this is the best thing since sliced bread.
What's that about, Ant?
Often when I'm out bush, I'll get rip off a bit of gum tree, or if there's a pine around, and it's the best fly swatter. Just keeps you off. I was using my pick earlier and I kept hitting myself in the face, so
See what I'm
it's
working
a lot
with?
less forgiving.
See what I'm trying to teach you here. I got a bloke who's getting flicking flies off his face,
Better than eating them.
but every so often he hits himself in the head with his pick. You heard it from his mouth. Right now, what's going on here, Ant?
Alright, well, we're just going for a bit of a walk, heading back to the car slowly, and come across another hut site over here.
And why's it a hut site, mate?
Well, we've got a few of these big rocks here, so there's probably a chimney around here somewhere. There's not a lot of rocks, but the thing that gives away is there's a lot of signals, heaps of signals. There's this bit of beer glass here as well, black bottle beer glass.
Yeah, so Ant dug that when he's digging his future signal. So obviously a hut, so that's where it's been.
Yep.
And when you are looking for huts, signals will give it away, and then if you get a heap of signals, have a bit of a look around, and it doesn't have to be very many stones to be sitting up to know
Yeah,
that.
sometimes we get the signals first and then see the...
Yeah, that's right.
stones.
We started digging and think, oh, that's where it was.
Yeah.
Right, we reckon there's a non-ferrous one in here.
Yep. I'm not blanking out on us yet, so...
Ant's had a bit of a day out on the relics today. He's got quite a few little relics. Sometimes, often we don't get any relics, and we've got to bluff our way through with a piece of bloody bent tin. But we've got some genuine relics today. We've just got a 1836 English shilling down below us. And obviously that would be from the gold rush time, so it's been in circulation, someone's been here in the 1850s. What's the story on this if it's a sovereign, Ant? What's the split?
Wax it.
50-50.
Wax everything.
Yeah, that's the way. Don't have to drag you through the courts for years and years. We're making our way back to the car and detecting as we go. So this bloke is toiling away here. We've just about run our race, but we've had a good day.
Well, she's out.
She's right out in the place.
We certainly have had a good day. It's been a ripper day. And the weather's been spot on as well, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
it has.
Not too hot, not too cold, just...
It's like the bloody, who was it? Goldilocks' porridge.
Yeah,
Just right.
Just right. Where are you? I know it's out.
Shoot the coil back across it, mate, and see what you can find out. Yeah, so we've had a good day. We've got a bit of lunch in reserve. In that big biscuit, is he?
In this big biscuit, yeah.
That's good. Oh, can I see something then?
I don't know, can you?
Oh.
In this hand, yeah. It's
No.
in this hand.
Yeah, but no, I couldn't. But at least he's non-ferrous, isn't he? Like he's something.
Oh, yep.
What do you see,
Coin.
mate? A coin.
Or a button, actually.
Oh well, yeah, well
It's
that's all
round. See it
right.
there?
I can see it now. Yeah. Show the people at home.
Oh. Oops. There it
There
is.
he is.
And I
Let's
think
hope-
it's going to be a button. Yeah, it's a button. Oh,
is it?
mine is button.
Well, actually, you wouldn't
There
be
we
much
go.
more authentic than that.
That's right.
Yeah. Shit, I was hopeful he was coin, but anyhow,
Yep.
he's another one for the
Oh,
collection.
beautiful. Getting a few buttons now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Righto, so out of that, miner's hut.
Another one.
Nice little bit of social history for Ant.
Beautiful.
Good
For the
get.
cabinet.
What do I do with that bit of black glass?
Just up there.
Oh, so that's the sort of style. So blokes have been living and bloody working in here and working hard too. You know, we've had a look at some of the grounder shifters today, and are rather them than us.
Yeah.
Righto, mate. Back to the car.
That's
Thumbs
it.
up.
Let's do it.
Good work. Yebbit Ali.
You do it, Ali.
We're on the slope that we crossed last week, and it's bounded by 4 or 5 huts. And by huts, I just mean little piles of stones where there's been a chimney place. There's plenty of glass strewn across the slope, and there's plenty of signals too. You don't have to go very far before you'll get a signal instead of just really looking for a signal. But there's plenty of signals like that that'll blank out. We're using the double D coils with the discriminator turned right up. So I got one.
Another non-ferrous sound.
Got one there, and call that.
Well, it's got to be non-ferrous.
Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Non-ferrous and a bit of size.
Yep.
Don't you
Definitely.
reckon?
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing on this slope. We're not looking for gold, we're looking for relics. So we're jumping all the iron and all the smaller signals that are rubbish.
I'm digging those type of
I'm digging
signals.
that sort of signal. So there was a lot of activity here. When you are digging these, your brain tricks you, and everything that comes up that's a little bit round you think is going to be the signal that you're looking for. It's about the right size to be something of value.
Oh, got it. See it. Stop. It's a thimble.
Oh, there.
Yep.
Oh, there. Well spotted. That's funny because we were talking about thimbles.
Yeah, but that's definitely a thimble.
These blokes, I know they had to be self-sufficient, but it's amazing the amount of thimbles that you find. They must have. Must have. We're going out the Goldfields. Well, packed the pick and the thimble. But there it is.
Yep.
It's been squeezed up by the ground, but
Yep.
Well spotted, Ant. Well spotted.
Good job, buddy.
So it's amazing.
It is, isn't it?
Men are in here, though we were inclined to think from some of the pottery that we got last week that it might have been a fraction later on and that there may have even been women living in here with the men. But that, and I'm not sexist, that doesn't necessarily mean that it was a woman. You find these in miners' huts a lot. Ant and I, while we've been detecting, have found a lot of them. Usually, I fluked getting one that was complete and round. In England, they're lucky enough to get silver ones. We get the low-class brass ones.
Have you ever found a silver one?
No, I haven't, mate. No. But there he is, easy
Nice.
signal
Well done.
on this slope of Relics. So you can see that no one's been in here with a detector that, you know, a coin detector or anything like that, because we're plucking them out with these gold detectors.
Yep.
And suspender buckle over there, thimble here, plenty of glass. So the relics are adding up. Thumbs up,
Sure.
mate.
Good job, mate. Well done.
Get one more and then we'll call it stumps.
Yep. Sounds good.
End of a pretty exciting day for Ant and I. We jumped around a little bit. We started early on along the creek where there'd been part of the rush. And then that's thunder now.
Thunder.
We could hear the disturbance through our detectors early on in the day. You knew the storm, or you knew that
It's coming.
it was coming because you were taking a backward step. Your detector would give a bit of a signal.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've done pretty well.
Great though. Sensational.
At the first spot, we got this, and I'm calling it a fossil.
I agree on that.
Anne will back me up. But we're more than happy for anyone that knows anything about it. Even if you don't know anything about it, have a shot. Say, yeah, that's a bloody bull testicle or whatever you want. Jump in, but if you do know something, we'd be happy to hear from you. We picked up, I think that button was at the first spot. Oh, and this button, which Ant said, what did you say? He said
There's
it on
London
the back?
on the back.
That says London on the back.
Yep, definitely saw a London on the
And
back.
it's a little bit better quality and always makes you think they might have been on the cuff of a jacket or something like that. It looks a bit too small to be on, actually on, but
It's a nice one.
be great if that was off someone that was a bit more upmarket. And a lot of people that joined the rush, they weren't all poor blokes trying to seek their fortune. There were blokes that were, you know, rich from other countries, like that joined the rush and came overseas. So maybe he didn't have a work jacket. Maybe he was out there in what was practically his dinner jacket when he was in England or whatever. So that button, and this one all came from the first spot. Then we shifted back to the spot where we were last week, and Ant got among the relics, and Ant was big time in the relics.
Yep.
This is his standout, and he's going to put that in the cleaner, but we've cleaned it off enough to realise it is a padlock.
Yep, definitely padlock.
You can see the little bit that goes across the front of the keyhole there. If you look at the back of it, you can see the shape of the padlock, and you can see how it's rusted there where the steel bit goes in and out. So wouldn't that be able to tell a story out in the bush?
Yeah.
And I mean, a padlock only keeps an honest thief out anyhow. Whatever that was padlocked on, surely we'd just pick up the box and carve that away. But
Exactly. Would have been nice if the box full of gold.
yeah, well, so Ant's padlock. Ant got the end of what we assume was a spoon. Bit of writing
on the
through
back,
there,
still
couldn't work it
couldn't
out.
make it out.
Oh, that Ant's mini thimble, which turned out to be not a thimble, had a thread on the inside. That
Tyger.
came from our first gold rush spot as well.
Yep.
So then we shifted. Ant got that from around the huts, the bits of pocket knife. That was something of value, but then we think it's been through the bushfire or whatever and turned it into just a piece of interest, but nothing much more. Ant got the suspender buckle or braces buckle.
Yep.
I got a
Ben got a better
clearly superior one. And we're not really over these, but what do you say that a lot of people call them, you know, Paris or French or something?
Paris buckle, yeah.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. So if you're into those, you'll know about that. I plucked out the thimble.
Yeah.
He's had a nice squash and he's only brass.
Musket ball.
Ant's musket ball, these little things. Then we went down the hill I landed the shilling, which is 1863,
1836.
1836.
Yep.
I'm Liz Dexick. And I reckon that'll clean up all right. There's plenty of detail on it.
Yeah,
Anne will put that in his cleaner and clean it up.
Golf ball.
Picked up golf ball. One of the Ryan boys, I think it was Jamie, said that the crows will pick them up and cart them away, think they're eggs, and then drop them and try and break them and find out they're just golf balls.
And this mystery item as well.
Oh, the mystery relic.
Yeah, not too sure.
Now, we want someone... See, it's been a thing of precision. It's got a little pointy bit there, a little bit there. It looks like it's almost like a miniature gun when you hold it sideways, but a hole there, another hole there. I wondered if it was out of a... See the hole there and a hole there. I wondered if it was out of something like a big lock, a giant lock, you know, part of a moving part in a lock. But it's something that's been pretty sophisticated. But then you've got to marry it in with the fact that it's out in the middle of the bush in gold rush times, you know, so it's not out of the back of an Apple computer or anything like that.
That's for sure.
It's something that's been purpose made and been part of a bigger item. But so that's our mystery relic. We haven't had the mystery relic for a while.
Yep.
You've got to sort of look at it from all angles because, as I said, this is one that Ant found. Got a little hole there, a hole there, a hole there like it's been held in with pins or whatever. So that's a mystery relic. And then, thankfully, we
did get a bit
one,
of gold as well.
one little bit of gold.
Look at that.
A nice little bit of gold. We got distracted from the gold a bit. Ant did. Ant hunted the relics pretty hard.
Yep.
I stayed mainly on the gold. So, Ant, we're going to weigh that. Your guess is?
I'm calling 0.5.
Yeah, I'm going 0.4.
Sticking to your 0.4.
You ready to go, mate?
Yeah, let's go. Oh,
What is it?
0.85.
Ah, shit.
Blew us out of the water.
Luck's
I
a
knew
fortune, isn't it?
minimum half a gram.
Just goes to show that if they're fat like that, you know, that one last week, I reckon was easy, that surface area, you know, that real thin one.
Yep, but it was
And,
much thinner. And this
yeah.
one, oh, that's sensational.
That
then.
is sensational, Ant. So that's as good as 2 little bits of gold.
Yep, well done.
So that's our day, folks.
Yep.
We had a bloody lot of fun. We looked at a lot of relics.
Great. Ripper day.
Shout out to Neil Rawlings. Neil Rawlings comments all the time and tells us things that he likes and tells us what he doesn't like. A lady called Kathy Harworth, she said that she liked watching us and sometimes she had to rewind it because she was laughing so much. She'd miss stuff that she'd laugh over the top of. And I've had that power over women for a long time, Kathy. When I was a young man, I'd ask women to go out with me and they'd say, don't make me laugh. And your mate that made your dolly pot's name is?
Neil Truanson.
Trounson or Truanson?
Trounson?
Yeah,
Trounson.
I'm going with Trounson. Trouson. Throw an N in there.
Yeah,
Neil,
thank you very much.
thank you very, very much.
It's been on spam and baked beans
Yeah,
all week.
to pay for the postage. Neil made 2 dolly pots. One for himself, sending one out to Ant and I. Ant's going to commandeer it, and when we get it, Neil, we're going to have a scout around the Mullocks and bust our gut trying to get a little bit of specimen so we can debut
put it into
your dolly
action.
pot on air.
Yeah, it'd be great. Thanks again, Neil. Appreciate
Yeah, thanks
it.
for that.
Really
Thanks for
appreciate
everyone for their comments. Greg Thomas, your stickers are bloody much better, so well done to you, Greg. We could have to do a few more if you've got any. And that's it, Ant. Anyone else?
That's it. That's it. Home time.
Home time,
Rest
mate.
time. Thanks, Glenn.
Yeah, thank you, Ant.
Ripper day.
Shake it up, mate. Good on you.
See you next time.
And everyone enjoyed Ant's as edit, and I thought it was a bloody classic. I was watching and then it come up to be continued. And when I was a kid, that used to shit me off. You know, you'd be thinking, oh yeah, I'll sit down and watch this, and then you get immersed in the story, and then it'd come up, oh, you think they're not going to make it? It's only 5 minutes to go and they've got to solve this crime, and then it'd come up to be continued. You just about kick the old black and white TV in. So I'm sitting up watching myself thinking, geez, you're a handsome man, Glenn. And then it comes up to be continued. I'm like, you bastard. Good editing, Ant.
Cheers, mate.
See you next time, mate.
See you next
See
time.
ya.
Cheers.